Rahul set for Bharat Jodo 2.0. From Manipur to Mumbai. 14 states, 85 districts, 6,200 kilometers. Bharat Jodo is now Bharat Nyaya Yatra.
All India Congress Committee has decided to hold a Bharat Nyaya Yatra from January 14 to March 20th.
Congress's big 2024 Yatra amid Mandir rumble. Rahul's Bharat Nyaya Yatra. Top focus at 6 p.m. prime.
Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nanda Gopal, and this evening we're going to be talking about Congress's 2024 plan. Even as there's so much talk of the Ram Mandir, the countdown is on to the inauguration of the Mandir, the Congress has announced what their 2024 game plan is going to be, and it is Bharat Jodo 2.0, termed this time as Bharat Nyaya Yatra. Rahul Gandhi will be embarking on this yatra, which is not necessarily on foot but also by bus from Manipur to Mumbai. We're going to get you all the details of how this yatra will move forward and what's the Congress's strategy. A look at the headlines first. Another Indian Neta to join Ram Mandir event boycott brigade. Mamta likely to skip consecration ceremony on January 22nd. TMC may not even send any representative to Ayodhya. Mega Ram Mandir exclusive on India Today. Gaurav Sawant gets you the first view of the Mandir complex with weeks to go for the mega inauguration.
22nd of January, that's where the consecration of the temple or the idol of Lord Ram or Ram Lala, a 5-year-old child Ram, will be installed here at the temple.
Politics peaks over Home Minister CAA warning after Amit Shah called CAA law of land. TMC and Congress hit out. Question why the CAA is only in opposition ruled states. Muslim League Jammu Kashmir, the Masrad Alam faction, which has been involved in anti-national activities, banned by centre for 5 years under UAPA. Language row reignites in Karnataka after pro-Kannada activists go on a rampage in Bengaluru, blackening English posters, billboards and nameplates. Bengaluru top cop assures that security will be ramped up. And Rajnath Singh visits Poonch Rajouri sector. Defence Minister gives a stern message on civilian killings, says it's also the responsibility of the army to win hearts of the people. So the Congress has now announced Bharat Jodo Yatra 2.0, or rather the Bharat Nyaya Yatra, where Rahul Gandhi will travel from Manipur to Mumbai, a total distance of 6,000 plus kilometers. Now, while the Bharat Jodo Yatra, you had Rahul Gandhi essentially talking about changing his image, reaching out to people and all of that. Again, it's going to be more of that ahead of the 2024 elections. This time around, he's not going to be covering the entire distance by foot, but will also be traveling by bus. But the idea is the same. The Congress is saying we're going to reach out to the people. But in this case, it's not about Bharat Jodo. It's about Nyaya. He's going to very symbolically start this yatra from Manipur. Let's get you all the details first in this report.
Rahul Gandhi's much talked about Bharat Jodo Yatra is set to make a comeback in the mega election year of 2024. But in a new avatar. This time it will be called the Bharat Nyaya Yatra.
भारत जोड़ो यात्रा के बाद अब राहुल गांधी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत न्याय यात्रा 14 जनवरी से लेकर 20 मार्च तक 14 राज्यों से गुजरेगी.
This yatra will cover a distance of 6,200 kilometers. This yatra is covering 14 states and 85 districts. With the great experience from the first Bharat Jodo Yatra, Congress party is expecting this Bharat Nyaya Yatra is going to be also a most historic yatra of this country.
Led by Rahul Gandhi, the Bharat Nyaya Yatra will stretch from Manipur in the east to Mumbai in the west, covering 14 states and 85 districts. It will commence on January 14th, with Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge flagging it off from Imphal. The yatra will span around 6,200 kilometers and is scheduled to conclude on March 20th.
Rahul Gandhi ji, who has led a yatra which is Bharat Jodo Yatra from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, has made a big impact and regenerated the Congress party in the north to south yatra, and this is going to be a east to west yatra. Therefore, this yatra is also a very important yatra.
मुबारक हो, भारत जोड़ने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वतन को एक करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. ये जो नफरतें मजहबों में शुरू कर दी है, इनको खत्म करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. इसमें क्यों नहीं शामिल?
While the Bharat Jodo Yatra helped Congress gain traction and virality, its impact in the recently concluded assembly elections was limited. This time too, the BJP is dismissive, terming the yatra Bharat Jodo Yatra.
Criticizing India, which Rahul Gandhi ji regularly does, perhaps on his advice, is also seen by the people of India. Mr. Rahul Gandhi going abroad and asking for foreigners to interfere in India's democracy has also been seen by it. And most importantly, Mr. Sam Pitroda, if my memory is correct, is the person who on the 1984 by-right said, so what? So this is the sum and substance of Mr. Rahul Gandhi and his core advisors. And the people of India see all of it and have consistently given their stamp of disapproval against the Congress party, its advisors and its leadership.
The BRS, which is also eyeing a national role, has called the revamped yatra a stunt by Rahul Gandhi.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi continuously keeps making a lot of statements about Bharat Jodo Yatra, where he is constantly trying to unite the nation, etc. Now looks like a PR stunt, because otherwise Mr. Rahul Gandhi should have stood up, spoken when comments were made on Sanatan Dharma, hurting crores of Hindu sentiments in this nation.
Will this yatra help Congress on the crucial road to 2024 elections? With Mausami Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
And let's get you all the latest political reactions coming in on the Congress's announcement of the Bharat Nyaya Yatra, which will start in just a few weeks from now. You've got the BJP dismissing any sort of impact of the Bharat Nyaya Yatra, with the likes of Anurag Thakur and Giriraj Singh lashing out at the Congress and particularly mocking Rahul Gandhi. Anurag Thakur, in his comment now, has questioned how the Congress can ensure Nyaya, saying very clearly that these are people who divide India, and also taking a taunt there at the Bharat Jodo Yatra and what it really did within the country. Let's play out for you those reactions from both Union Minister Anurag Thakur as well as Giriraj Singh.
मैं इतना ही कहूंगा, जो टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग के सदस्यों को शामिल करते हों, जो भारत को क्षेत्र और जातिवाद में बांटने का काम करते हों, वो न्याय क्या दिलाएंगे जिनके अपने राज्य में 84 के दंगे हुए हों और कई वर्षों तक सिखों के इस दंगों को न्याय नहीं दिला पाए. उनके लिए भी एसआईटी की जांच नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने की. मैं इतना ही कहूंगा कि जनता इनका असली चेहरा जान चुकी है, जो भगवान राम को काल्पनिक बताते हैं, जिनके अपने अलायंस पार्टनर सारे एक के बाद दूसरा सनातन धर्म को नीचा दिखाने का काम करता है, हिंदू को अपमानित करने का काम करता है. और यही नहीं, एक के बाद दूसरा इनका नेता बार बार एक से दूसरा हल्का बयान कर रहे हैं. क्या यही राजनीति इनके लिए रह गई है?
वो न्याय यात्रा निकालें, पार्थ यात्रा निकालें, ज्ञान यात्रा निकालें, ये जो यात्रा निकालना हो वो यात्रा निकाल लें, अच्छा हो ज्ञान यात्रा निकाल लें।
All right, let's bring in Maushmi Singh on this broadcast, who tracks the Congress closely for us. Maushmi, explain to us the timing that's been chosen for Bharat Nyaya Yatra. There's been quite a bit of speculation that it would be launched very soon, that the Congress High Command was figuring out details, the schedule, which seats to cover, etc. But right now, with the dates being released, there are questions about whether the Congress is kind of trying to counter the BJP's Ram Mandir narrative with this kind of a mega Bharat Nyaya Yatra.
Right, Akshita. As far as the timing of the yatra is concerned, perhaps the Congress could have had it a bit earlier, as was the buzz after the Bharat Jodo Yatra Part 1, that this one would soon follow. But then assembly elections happened, and in Himachal and in Karnataka, Congress got a thumping victory against the BJP. So somewhere, the Congress in the cadre and leaders really felt that the party was in full mood, and it had got its act together, and it was buzzing and had found the right notes as far as winning the voters' hearts are concerned. But with the recent drubbing in the assembly elections, the morale of the party was low. And yes, with the inauguration of the Ram temple on the cards, and the BJP, the party feeling could reap rich dividends out of that by drumming up religious sentiments, the Congress really felt the need of a mass contact program at this point of time. And even as Mallikarjun Kharge would actually give a green signal to this yatra, the face would be Rahul Gandhi yet again. So perhaps also a message to the alliance partners that if they have to join in the yatra, it will be with Rahul Gandhi, and it could probably be a reach out to its allies.
So let's see if this is just a Congress yatra or if it becomes an India bloc yatra, because in many of the states, like in West Bengal, it'll be interesting to see if maybe a Mamata Banerjee joins Rahul Gandhi on his yatra. Just to compare for our viewers right now, how much really the Bharat Jodo Yatra really covered versus the Bharat Nyaya Yatra. The Bharat Jodo Yatra was, of course, south to north and covered just about 4,080 kilometers. We'll just put that out on our screens as well. And you can see, of course, that the path that it took, Rahul Gandhi did focus a lot on the south. It did make a big difference also in the Congress's campaign, because for many of the state leaders, Rahul Gandhi's presence there did kind of ensure that they could kind of reap the benefits of the positive response that the yatra reached in the south. The jury's still out on what really did in the north. If you look at the assembly elections, not really much of an impact. But in the general elections and east to west, there's a question mark on that. Essentially 4,080 kilometers that was covered in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Now they've rebranded it as the Bharat Nyaya Yatra. And in that, east to west, you're going to see, starting from Manipur, several states being covered. And let's put that out as well for our viewers. From east to west, you'll have, starting from Manipur, you'll have several northeast states, Nagaland, Assam, and several others being covered. It's much bigger than what the original Bharat Jodo Yatra was. This is about 6,000 plus kilometers that will be covered by Rahul Gandhi. Also a very different form of yatra. Yes, it's going to be with reaching out to the people, as Rahul Gandhi is known to do with the Bharat Jodo Yatra. In this case, they're also talking about Rahul taking a bus and traveling in several parts to ensure that they cover a lot more distance, a lot more states as well. I'd also like to, at this point, bring in my colleague Preeti Chaudhary on this broadcast to talk about the impact of the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Preeti, good evening. In the Bharat Jodo Yatra, 4,000 kilometers covered, we did see an impact of it in the southern states. In the assembly election, you look at Karnataka, Telangana, it did work for Rahul Gandhi. He also created this image of being someone who's, rooted to the ground, speaks to people, reaches out to all of them. What do you think really will be the messaging that they're attempting to reach with Bharat Nyaya Yatra? And do you see it having an impact really on 2024? Because many of these states that they've chosen, the Congress doesn't have that much of a presence if you look at their Lok Sabha numbers.
Well, that's what the main point is, at least where the think tank of the Congress is concerned, it is to cut this yatra through the Hindi heartland. And we saw what went down in the Hindi heartland seats in the 5 state elections, where they've lost Madhya Pradesh, they've lost Chhattisgarh, they've lost Rajasthan. And one of the main reasons, now the CWC for a very long time has been of the opinion, because they were very clear that the Bharat Jodo Yatra was a success for them. And they wanted a Bharat Jodo Yatra 2.0 to be carried out, especially right before elections. The counter to that was even within the CWC members, and even someone like Rahul Gandhi had raised apprehensions because it comes very close to the general election. So the reason of the timing, that it starts on the 10th January and it wraps up by the 10th of March, is mainly that after that it's all in when it comes down to the general state elections. Even in this, it's going to be a hybrid yatra. What's the difference between a Bharat Jodo to a Bharat Nyaya Yatra? Of course, other than the demography and the topography of the yatra, which is completely diametrically different. It remains to be seen what is the kind of response that Rahul Gandhi gets when he enters the Hindi heartland. The reason why it's starting from Manipur, one of the main reasons why it's named as the Bharat Nyaya Yatra, Manipur has been an issue that the Congress has been very big on, and that didn't quite resonate, in the state elections of Mizoram, because the neighboring state did not, the BJP did better than the Congress, interesting in that aspect. But having said that, Akshita, what will be really interesting, because it starts on the 10th of January. 22nd of January is the inauguration of the Ram temple. And by the time, that's the yatra where it will be entering Uttar Pradesh. So, in a way, it's also the Congress's attempt to try and draw certain eyeballs. Uttar Pradesh has been the weakest link for the Congress. And there is, a thought, and a very clear thought, that, earlier on, there was a division. One side of the Congress said we need to focus completely on the South and maximize the South in terms of in numbers. In
but
states,
it won't be enough,
exactly. So while the other one, and then do carpet bombing of not the entire state, but certain seats when it came down to the Hindi heartland. But they do realize that to win an election or even get close to the 100 or 125 mark seats that the Congress would be aiming for in this election, just where the Congress comes into question, it needs to do well in the Hindi heartland. And why it's got a little bit of a fillip is, Akshita, if you look at it, Rajasthan, it wasn't expecting to do as well as they did, where the internal surveys of the Congress were concerned. I'm not talking about exit polls. So the kind of numbers it's got, it's hoping, and these are states which maximized for the BJP. BJP took 25 out of 25 where the state of Rajasthan is concerned, 25 out of 25 where Gujarat is concerned. So for the Congress, even if it manages to get 1 or 2 odd seats in the state, it's a plus. In a state like Uttar Pradesh, there was a complete rout of the Congress. There is also talk at this point of time that possibly a Priyanka Gandhi or a Rahul Gandhi will, fight an election from the Hindi heartland. Earlier on there's indication, will Priyanka take a safe seat in the south? Because these are all speculations. But if the Gandhi, family needs to matter, it needs to once again build space for at least one of the Gandhis in the Hindi heartland, which is a state like Uttar Pradesh. So interesting. I just want to watch what goes down when the yatra enters the state of Uttar Pradesh and the Ram Mandir inauguration is on, and you have the yatra simultaneously going through.
It's an interesting strategy. It could backfire also.
Completely.
So, it's been interesting to see whether it's a gamble that's essentially paying off for the Congress. Maushami, I'll just come to you for a quick question on that as well, about the route that the Congress has decided on and the states that have been chosen. Okay, we'll get Maushami back in just a bit. In the meanwhile, let me get you the numbers of the seats that, in fact, Rahul Gandhi will be covering as part of the Bharat Nyaya Yatra and part of this route map of course, 6,000 plus kilometers. Let's take you through, in fact, how the Congress has fared in many of these states. First, of course, in Manipur, there are 2 Lok Sabha seats. Congress has 0, Nagaland 1. Congress has 0 in 14 of Assam seats. You've got, in fact, 3 seats with the Congress. Let's put that number and that graphic out on our screens right now. For our viewers. All right, I'll just put it out for you, the data, in just a bit. In Meghalaya, there are 2 seats the Congress has won. So these are, in fact, states in which the Congress hopes to do better. Look for an example at a Bihar. Out of 40 Lok Sabha seats, the Congress had just 1. In Bengal, out of 42, the Congress won just 2 in 2019. So these are states, obviously, where the Congress will want to do much better. Preeti was referring to Uttar Pradesh, 1 seat there, but the Congress there, out of 80. So that's a big, big difference there. And we'll put out those numbers for our viewers as well. It's interesting to see, Preeti, that the Congress is taking the chance. They're saying that, look, we're identifying our weak points. We're going to go ahead and work on that as well. There were many who said that Congress really shied away from doing that earlier. Do you see a change or a tweak in strategy, at least on that front?
But many would also say that it's come too late because, if it's coming in the fag end of a campaign, will it be enough is the big question. There have been people within the Congress, they, like many of them say, that the canary has been singing in the mines for a while and they had to do this a while ago and that hasn't quite happened.
Maybe not momentum, but what about, ensuring that on the ground you've got everyone talking? And having at least a counter to the Ram Mandir narrative now.
No, it's audacious for them now finally to push it. It's a 90-day yatra, which is, it's a 90-day yatra cutting through 14 states, across, number of districts. It's not easy game. So it's going to be difficult and they need to wrap it up before March because all these people who are going to be involved in this yatra ultimately need to fight elections. They need to be back in their constituencies right before the final push, between March and April is concerned. So they have to wrap it up. It's a 90 days, yatra. But on that front, with what you pointed out, look at, states, that one seat which the Congress got in Uttar Pradesh, that's Rai Bareli, that's Sonia Gandhi. Now what else? Will you be able to get where Uttar Pradesh is concerned? It's 80 seats and nothing where the Congress comes into question.
And there's pressure also for Priyanka Gandhi to directly take on Prime Minister Modi in Varanasi.
That's been mooted by the likes of Mamata Banerjee, but I don't see that happening because, what happens is there's a thought within the Congress which also seems to suggest that if you make this, a personality contest in Varanasi, it ties down Priyanka Gandhi. They want to use Priyanka Gandhi where the women vote is concerned, in a lot more states. So I don't see that happening, that contest. I don't see, that reaching to fruition. But away from that, what is really important, at least where the Congress think tank is concerned, and they're finally seeming to come about. It would be interesting to see what happens in a state like, West Bengal, because it is passing through West Bengal.
Correct.
Will there be seat sharing? Understandably, because now there is a deadline which has been set by the India Alliance. And if that seat sharing reaches fruition, then how much will the Congress get? And will the Congress be happy with that? Will Mamata Banerjee join in? What happens when it enters Bihar? Bihar is a place. If you look at it in what they've done is they've identified 4 or 5 states, Akshita. Bihar is one of them. Karnataka, your state is one of them. Maharashtra is one of them. Rajasthan is one of them. These are states which they've identified with a clear, Madhya Pradesh is one of them, with a clear idea that they want to make inroads in these very states. And they want, because these are the states where the BJP had maximized. Bihar is a state, even pre-poll surveys seem to suggest that the BJP is losing ground. But on the other side, there are rumblings within the JDU. There's conspiracy theories that the JDU might
they can make the most of all of that. The question is whether the Yatra can really do that. But let's put out those numbers I was referring to earlier as well, of how the Congress has fared in many of the states that you're going to be seeing them go through essentially in this particular Yatra. All right, so those were the numbers of what happened in the Bharat Jodo Yatra and all of the Lok Sabha seats that were covered then, 350 plus Lok Sabha seats that were covered by Rahul Gandhi then. They'll be hoping that the impact of that is felt in 2024 and, of course, with the Bharat Nyaya Yatra as well. There's been a big showdown over wrestlers also taking on the government over the appointment of Brij Bhushan's aide as the Wrestling Federation of India chief. Now, since then, you've got the Congress siding with these wrestlers. And these are images from earlier today when you had Rahul Gandhi in Haryana meeting with Bajrang Punia, one of those wrestlers who's taken a stand against what's happened, against Brij Bhushan's aide's appointment as the WFI chief. And you see these images also that went viral of Rahul Gandhi interacting with these wrestlers, was in fact in the Akhada performing and practicing moves, was seen also having a meal with them. And while these pictures have gone viral, it's also symbolic because Rahul Gandhi is sending out a message that I stand with these wrestlers. The question is, of course, whether this can turn out to become a big agenda in the upcoming election, because the BJP has completely dismissed the allegation, saying a fair election was held and a new WFI chief was chosen. But these are pictures from earlier today of Rahul Gandhi interacting with Bajrang Punia and several other wrestlers.
हमारा जो रूटीन होता है ना रेसलिंग का वो देखने के लिए आए हैं।
तो कोई खास बात हुई पहलवानों से?
वो बिल्कुल उनके माइक में, उनके चैनल पे या वो वीडियो
कुश्ती की उन्होंने?
हाँ, कुश्ती की उन्होंने।
और की एक्सरसाइज की?
बिल्कुल।
आपके साथ किया?
मेरे साथ ही कर रहे थे।
तो क्या खास देखने आए थे वो जो आप लोगों के?
वो ये देखने आए थे कि भाई जो एक खिलाड़ी होता है उनका जीवन कैसे होता है, कि रेसलिंग का जीवन कैसे होता है, तो वो देखने के लिए आए थे।
लगभग यहाँ 6:15 बजे पहुंच गए थे।
क्या किया राहुल ने, क्या पूछा आप लोगों से, क्या क्या किया?
यहाँ एक्सरसाइज कैसे होती है, हमारे साथ एक्सरसाइज मिलके की, एक्सरसाइज की सारी उन्होंने अपने गेम के बारे में बताया हमारे को, और बड़ी खुशी हुई। उनको तो बहुत जानकारियां हैं, बहुत खेल के बारे में, जैसे जुजुत्सु वगैरह जो खेलते हैं, उनकी ब्लैक बेल्ट होल्डर हैं, उन्होंने हमारे साथ होल्ड करके दिखाया, बड़ा बढ़िया लगे।
तो कुश्ती के जोर भी किए?
कुश्ती के जोर भी किए, टेक्निक भी सीखी, ऑन पॉइंट भी कैसे लिए जाते हैं, कैसे होते हैं।
तो आपने कैसे स्वागत किया?
हमने तो स्वागत किया ऐसे ही, वैसे हम सामान्य कर रहे थे यहाँ, वो आगे
दूध बादाम
हाँ, दूध बादाम, उन्होंने रोटी खाई जी, बाजरे की रोटी खाई, दही और हरा साग खाया।
तो पहलवानों ने क्या बताया उन्हें, जो आज के जो प्रकरण पर भी बात?
उस प्रकरण पर भी बात हुई उनकी।
क्या कब बताया आप लोगों ने, क्या कहा गलत हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है?
हमने कहा बहुत मानसिक परेशानी में झेल रहे हैं बच्चे, लड़कियां भी थी लड़के भी थे, तो बहुत परेशानी में।